Cantos 58 to 60 of Book 2 of the Ramayana of Valmiki, translated by Ralph T. H. Griffith. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Recording by Om123. Canto 58, Rama's Message. The king a while had senseless lain, when care brought memory back again. Then straight he called the news to hear of Rama for the charioteer. With reverent hand to hand applied, he waited by the old man's side, whose mind with anguish was distraught, like a great elephant newly caught. The king with bitter pain distressed, the faithful charioteer addressed, who sat of mien with flooded eye, and dust upon his limbs stood by. Where will be Rama's dwelling now? At some tree's foot beneath the bough. Ah, what will be the exile's food? Bred up with kind solicitude, can he, long lapped in pleasant rest, unmeet for pain, by pain oppressed, son of earth's king, his sad night spend, art couched as one that has no friend. Behind him, when abroad he sped, cars, elephants, and foot were led. Then how shall Rama dwell afar, in the wild woods where no men are? How, tell me, did the princess dare, with Sita good and soft and fair, alighting from the chariot tread, the forest wilds around them spread? A happy lot is thine, I ween, whose eyes my two dear sons have seen, seeking on foot the forest shade, like the bright twins to view displayed. The heavenly Aswins, when they seek the woods that hang beneath Mandar's peak, what words smṛti quickly tell, from Rama, Lakshman, Sita fell. How in the wood did Rama eat? What was his bed, and what was his seat? Full answer to my questions give, for I on thy replies shall live. As with the saints Ayati held, sweet converse from the skies expelled. Urged by the Lord of Man to speak, whose sobbing voice came faint and weak, thus he, while tears his utterance broke, in answer to the monarch spoke. Hear then the words that Rama said, resolved in duty's path to tread. Joining his hands, his head he bent, and gave this message reverent. Smṛti, to my father go, whose lofty mind all people know. Bow down before him as is meet, and in my stead salute his feet. Then to the queen my mother bend, and give the greeting that I send. Never may her steps from duty err, and may it still be well with her. And at this word, O Queen, pursue thy vows with faithful heart and true, and ever at due season turn, where holy fires of worship burn. And Lady, on our Lord bestow such honor as to gods we vow. Be kind to every queen, let pride and thought of self be cast aside. In the king's fond opinion raise Kaikeyi by respect and praise. Let the young Bharat ever be loved, honored as the king by thee. Thy kingward duty never forget, high over all our monarch set. And Bharat too for me address, pray that all health his life may bless. Let every royal lady share, as justice bids, his love and care. Say to the strong-armed chief who brings joy to Ikshaku's line of kings, as ruling prince thy care be shown of him our sire, who holds the throne. Stricken in years he feels their weight, but leave him in his royal state. As recent heir content thee still, submissive to thy father's will. Rama again his jaws renewed, as the hot blood his cheek bedewed. Hold as thine own my mother dear, who drops for me the longing tear. Then Lakshman, with his soul on fire, spake breathing fast these words of ire. Say, for what sin, for what offence, was royal Rama banished thence? He is the cause the king, poor slave, to the light jaws Kaikeyi gave. Let right or wrong the motive be, the author of our war is he. Whether the exile was decreed, through foolish fate or guilty greed, for promises or empire steal, the king has wrought a grievous ill. Granted the Lord of all saw fit, to prompt the deed and sanction it. In Rama's life no cause I see, for which the king should bid him flee. His blinded eyes refuse to scan the guilt and folly of the plan, and from the weakness of the king, here and hereafter war shall spring. No more, my sire, the ties that used to bind me to the king are loosed. My brother Rama, Raghu's son, to me is lord, friend, sire in one. The love of man, how can he win, deserting by the cruel seam? Their joy, whose heart is swift to feel a pleasure in the people's weal, shall he whose mandate could expel the virtuous Rama loved so well? To whom his subjects' fond hearts cling, shall he in spite of them be king? But Janak's child, my lord, stood by, and of the votaries heaved a sigh. She seemed with dull and wandering sense beneath his spirit's influence. The noble princess, pained with war, which till that hour she never could know, tears in her happy trouble shed, but not a word to me she said. She raised her face which grief had dried, and tenderly her husband eyed, gazed on him as he turned to go, while tear chased tear in rapid flow. Canto 59. Dasarath's Lament. As thus Sumantra, best of peers, told his sad tale with many tears, the monarch cried, I pray thee tell at length again what there befell. Sumantra, at the king's behest, striving with sobs, he scarce repressed, his trembling voice at last controlled, and thus his further tidings told. Their locks in votive coils they wound, their coats of bark upon them bound, to Ganga's farther shore they went, thence to Prayag their steps were bent. I saw that Lakshman walked ahead, to guard the path the two should tread. So far I saw, no more could learn, forced by the hero to return. Retracing slow my homeward course, scarce could I move its stubborn horse. Shedding hot tears of grief he stood, when Rama turned him to the wood. As the two princes parted thence, I raised my hands in reverence, mounted my ready car and bore the grief that stung me to the core. With Guha all the day I stayed, still by the earnest hope delayed, that Rama, ere the time should end, some message from the wood might send. Thy realm's great monarch mourn the blow, and sympathize with Rama's war. Each withering tree hangs low his head, and shoot and bud and flower are dead. Dried are the floods that wont to fill the lake, the river, and the rill. Drear is each grove and garden now, dry every blossom on the bough. Its beast is still, no serpents crawl, a lethargy of war on all. The very wood is silent, crushed, with grief for Rama all is hushed. Fair blossoms from the water born, gay garlands that the earth adorn, and every fruit that gleams like gold, have lost the scent that charmed of old. Empty is every grove I see, or birds sit pensive on the tree. Wherever I look, its beauty over, the pleasant charms not as before. I drove through fair Ayodhya street, none flew with joy the car to meet. They saw that Rama was not there, and turned them sighing in despair. The people in the royal way wept tears of bitter grief when they beheld me coming from afar, no Rama with me in the car. From palace roof and turret high, each woman bent her eager eye. She looked for Rama, but in vain, gazed on the car, and shrieked for pain. Their long clear eyes with sorrow drowned, they, with this common grief was found, looked each on other, friend and foe, in sympathy of levelling war. No shade of difference between foe, friend, and neutral there was seen. Without a joy her bosom rent, with grief for Rama's banishment. Ayodhya like the queen appears, who mourns her son with many tears. He ended, and the king distressed, with sobbing voice, that lord addressed. Ah me, by false Kaikeyi led, of evil race to evil bred, I took no counsel of the sage, nor sought advice from skill and age. I asked no lord his aid to lend, I called no citizen or friend. Rash was my deed, bereft of sense, slave to woman's influence. Surely, my lord, a woe so great falls on us by the will of fate. It lays the house of Raghu low, for destiny will have it so. I pray thee, if I ever have done an act to please thee, yea, but one, fly, fly, and Rama homeward lead, my life departing counsel speed. Fly, ere the power to bid I lack. Fly to the wood, bring Rama back. I cannot live for even one short hour bereaved of my son. But the prince, whose arms are strong, has journeyed far, the way is long. Me upon the chariot place, and let me look on Rama's face. Me, my son, mine eldest born, where roams he in the wood forlorn, the wielder of the mighty bow, whose shoulders like the lion's show. Ere the light of life be dim, take me to Sita and to him. O Rama, Lakshman, and O thou, dear Sita, constant to thy vow. Beloved ones, you cannot know that I am dying of my woe. The king, to bitter grief a prey, that drove its wandering sense away, sunk in affliction's sea too wide to traverse, in his anguish cried, Hard, hard to pass, my queen, this sea of sorrow raging over me. No Rama near to soothe mine eye, plunged in its lowest deeps I lie. Sorrow for Rama swells the tide, and Sita's absence makes it wide. My tears its foamy flood disdain, made billowy by my sighs of pain. My cries its roar, the arms I throw, about me are the fish below. Kaikeyi is the fire that feeds, beneath my hair the tangled weeds. Its source the tears for Rama shed, the humpback's words its monsters dread. The boon I gave the wretch its sore, till Rama's banishment be over. Me, that I should long to set my eager eyes today on Raghu's son, and he be yet with Lakshman far away. Thus he of lofty glory wailed, and sank upon the bed. Beneath the war his spirit failed, and all his senses fled. Canto 60. Kaushalya consoled. As Queen Kaushalya, trembling much, as blighted by a goblin's touch, still lying prostrate, half awoke to consciousness, it was thus she spoke. Bear me away, Sumandra, far, where Rama, Sita, Lakshman are. Bereft of them, I have no power to linger on a single hour. Again I pray, thy steps retrace, and me in the dark forest place. For after them I needs must go, or sink to Yama's realms below. His utterance, choked by tears that rolled down from their fountains uncontrolled, with suppliant hands the charioteer thus spake, the lady's heart to cheer. Dismiss thy grief, despair, and dread, that fills thy soul of sorrow bred. For pain and anguish thrown aside, will Rama in the wood abide, and Lakshman with unfailing care will guard the feet of Rama there, earning with governed sense the prize that waits on duty in the skies. And Sita in the wild as well as in her own dear home will dwell. To Rama all her heart she gives, and free from doubt and terror leaves. No faintest sign of care or woe the features of the lady show. Methinks Videha's pride was made for exile in the forest shade, even as of old she used to rove, delighted in the city's grove. Thus, even thus, she joys to tread the woodlands uninhabited. Like a young child, her face as fair as the young moon, she wanders there. What though in lonely woods she stray, still Rama is her joy and stay. All his the heart no sorrow bends, her very life on him depends. For if her lord she might not see, Ayodhya like the wood would be. She bids him, as she roams, declare the names of towns and hamlets there, marks various trees that meet her eye, and many a brook that hurries by. And Janet's daughter seems to roam one little league away from home, when Rama or his brother speaks, and gives the answer that she seeks. This lady I remember well, nor angry words have I to tell, reproaches at Kaikeyi shot, such queen my mind remembers not. The speech, when Sita's wrath was high, Sumantra passed in silence by, that so his pleasant words might cheer, with sweet report Kaushalya's ear. Her moon-like beauty suffers not, though winds be rude and suns be hot, the weight, the danger, and the toil, her gentle lustre may not soil. Like the red lily's leafy crown, or as the fair full moon looks down, so the Videhan lady's face still shines with undiminished grace. What if the borrowed colors throw over her fine feet no rosy glow? Still with their natural tints they spread a lotus glory where they tread. In sportive grace she walks the ground, and sweet her chiming anklets sound. No jewels clasp the faultless limb, she leaves them all for love of him. If in the woods her gentle eye a lion sees, or tiger nigh, or elephant, she fears no ill, for Rama's arm supports her steel. No longer be their fate deplored, nor die, nor that of Kaushal's lord, for conduct such as theirs shall buy wide glory that can never die. For casting grief and care away, delighting in the forest day, with joyful spirits blithe and gay, set forward to the ancient way, where mighty saints have led, their highest aim, their dearest care, to keep their father's honor fair. Observing still the oath he sware, they roam on wild fruit fed. Thus with persuasive art he tried to turn her from grief aside, by soothing fancies won. But still she gave her sorrow vent. O Rama was her shrill lament, my love, my son, my son. End of Cantos 58, 59 and 60.